Greetings, everybody. Brother Dan Goodwin here, God's Final Jubilee Ministries. We're glad to have you with us on the program today. Some interesting things going on. This is August. This is, what is the date today? This is, let me look here. This is the 15th of August. And got up this morning. We're up in the state of Maine, as many of you know, on vacation, kind of a working vacation to some degree. Be sure to go to the podcast, by the way. We just uploaded one today from Saturday night, Sunday. Make sure you go check that out. But I got up this morning and was checking out some of the news sites and found something quite interesting going on in London, of all places. And I posted it on Facebook this morning. This is the 15th of August. If you're on my Facebook page, God's Final Jubilee, you would have seen the story. But let me go there and open that up and share with you what I found there. Here, this is very interesting. Here's what I wrote. Is time running out on August 21st, 2017, during the Great American Eclipse? Is time running out? You know that I wrote a gospel tract. Some of you have that. It's called, in fact, that is time. Time is running out. I have that picture hanging in my office at home. Time is running out. I believe time is running out. I don't know when the Lord's coming back. I believe He's coming back soon. I'm convinced that we are the last and final generation upon the earth, but I'm not a date setter. I've never been a date setter. I have believed for some years now that 2017 is a good year for this thing to be over. But who knows? We may have another year or two. You just don't know. But I feel like we're very close to the end of this thing. Now, you know that on August 21st, we've got this big eclipse. They're calling it the Great American Eclipse. In fact, even secular people. Going to be millions of people watching this. And something like this has not happened in America for over 99 years, they say. A lot of strange things about it. 7 years later, of course, there's going to be another eclipse going the other way across America, and making like an X. And in the X is St. Louis, just a few hours from where I live, the heartland, and also the New Madrid Fault, by the way. But what caught my attention this morning is the fact that London, England, is shutting down the Big Ben clock. There's a news story here. Let me just read you what I wrote this morning on my Facebook page. Is time running out on August 21st, 2017 during the Great American Eclipse? And I quoted Revelation 10:6, which goes with my gospel tract here. It says this, that there should be time no longer. That's Revelation chapter 10, verse 6, that there should be time no longer. One of the PowerPoint presentations that you can see on my Prophecy Unsealed DVD, let me hold that up for you here. This is the Prophecy Unsealed DVD set you can get on my website, godsfinaljubilee.com. This has just been out a few months now. There's 4 PowerPoint presentations in this. If I've been to your church or you've come and heard me at a prophecy conference, you've probably heard this one. It's called When Time Shall Be No More. That's session 4 on the set. My favorite one, by the way, When Time Shall Be No More. In that, I discussed time. I discussed the fact that I believe in a 6,000-year earth. I believe that the millennium, the kingdom age, will start in the final 1,000-year period, which will make a 7,000-year earth. I go into great detail about that in the DVD set. Listen, we're getting close to the end of the 2,000-year church age. Time is running out for the world. The 2,000-year church age clock is about done. It will end at the rapture. I believe it will be a 2,000-year church age, not necessarily 2,000 years as we count time, but 2,000 years as God counts time, the 360-day year clock that God uses. And we don't know where we are in that clock, and we can't even trust the Gregorian calendar that we use. We don't know if that thing's right. Definitely didn't start right. It started with 4 BC, with the birth of Christ. I mean, imagine that. Christ is born 4 BC, 4 years before Christ he's born. You know, silly, huh? We started the calendar at the wrong place. The New Testament starts at the death of Christ, not the birth of Christ. But with that said, I believe it's going to be a 2,000-year church age, and we're very close to that now, and we'll end at the rapture. The 7-year tribulation will finish off the Old Testament 4,000-year clock, because I believe the Old Testament ended not at the year 4,000, but at the year 3,993, or as we call it, 3993. And the 7-year tribulation will finish off that 4,000-year clock. This is all in the DVD set. And I talk about that a lot on several of the different PowerPoints that we do. I read this morning that they were shutting down, oh, by the way, after the 7-year tribulation finishes off the Old Testament 4,000-year clock, it ushers in the kingdom age, which will be another 1,000-year period. So it's going to be I call it a 6,000-year earth, but it's actually 7,000 if you count the kingdom age with Christ ruling and reigning from Jerusalem, ruling with a rod of iron from Jerusalem. With that said, I read this morning that they are shutting Big Ben down in London for 3 to 4 years, depending on which article you read. One of them says 4 years, another says around 3 years. And I wrote here, hey, how about 3.5 years, the length of the first half of the tribulation period. They're shutting Big Ben down. And by the way, the date, this was amazing. This is what caught my attention. August 21st, this coming Monday. They're shutting Big Ben down. That's the big clock in London. If you go to my Facebook page, you can actually click on the link and read the story that I got this from. But there are several other stories about this, and I suspect there'll be a lot more stories coming out soon. And I have a feeling when people get wind of what I'm talking about here, this August 21st date, I have a feeling there'll be a lot of YouTube videos coming out about this. And I'm just going to touch just the surface of this thing. I don't know what else there is here. But, you know, guys always find stuff, and people are good with numbers. I'm not a big numbers guy. I think they're interesting, but I'm just, it's mind-boggling for me. But I read this morning they're shutting Big Ben down. That's the big clock in London, England that everybody talks about. They're going to shut the clock down for repairs and restoration for 3 to 4 years. And what they said was they have to shut it down because of the noise that this makes when that thing chimes. They said that they're worried that it will hurt the ears of the construction workers, so they're going to shut it down. Well, there's some folks over there upset about this. They don't want them to shut it down. They say, let's do the restoration while this thing's operating. And the officials said, well, that's not fair to the construction workers. Their ears could be hurt. And somebody suggests, well, what about ear protection? Well, we don't want to make them have to do that. Well, my goodness, people wear ear protection all the time. When I was in the Navy, down the engine room, we wore ear plugs all the time down there. So let me read you a little bit of the story here. And by the way, they're shutting Big Ben down on Monday, August 21st, 2017, the same day as the Great American Eclipse. I read that they're shutting it down at noontime. I guess that's London time. Over here, the Great American Eclipse begins Monday on Pacific time. At 10:18 will be the first solar eclipse. The full solar eclipse will actually hit America in a place called Salem, Oregon, at 10:18 a.m. Pacific time. It will end, the final solar total eclipse will end at 2:47. It'll hit the final stage in Charlotte, South Carolina at 2:47 Eastern Standard Time. Now remember, London is 7 or 8 hours earlier than Eastern Time, so you can check that out for yourself. So same day, just not necessarily the same times here, but this is interesting. So the same day as our eclipse is going on, they're shutting down time. Time is ending over there in London, England. Time is running out. When time shall be no more. So when God shuts the sun off going across America, London, England is shutting Big Ben off that's been running over there since the 1800s. Let me read you a little bit about the story and I'll let you go. Listen to what is said in the report. I'll just read some of it. You can look it up for yourself. It's in the Daily Mail, by the way, www.dailymail.com.uk/ whole bunch of stuff here, Big Ben. You can Google it and you'll find it, or go to my Facebook page and click on it. Here's what was said here. For more than 150 years, Big Ben has rung out reassuringly during times of war and peace. Not even Nazi bombs, this is great, not even the bombs of Nazi Germany could silence this famous symbol of Britishness, as they call it. But having marked the hour with almost unbroken service since 1859, the great bells, bongs will soon cease for 4 years because of health and safety. That's in quotations. Because of health and safety. In other words, what Nazi Germany and war could not do. They wouldn't stop that clock for any reason. What World War II couldn't do, political correctness and health and safety and all this is going to shut her down so that these men can work on it. Listen to this. Labor MP Steve Pound said they kept the bells tolling through the Blitz. He's talking about World War II. The Luftwaffe, the German Air Force, could not stop it, but health and safety has. There has to be a way around this gentleman says. The bell at the northeastern end of the House of Parliament in Westminster will ring for the last time at noon next Monday, that's August 21st. The renovation of the Elizabeth Tower is expected to be completed by 2021. And that's the story. Interesting. Let me click on it. You can click on the story. I have it up here on my website. Big Ben X-rayed for cracks. Elizabeth Tower's glass clock face is going to be replaced with a new paint job. And a new paint job, 29 million pound facelift that will see great bells, bongs silenced for 4 years. That's the headline. This is from the Daily Mail. And this is dated, I think, today. Dated August 14th, updated August 15th today. Interesting stuff here. Boy, you ought to see on the website the picture of this clock, the picture of the tower. Big, tall thing, and it shows the different floors and what's on them. You ought to take a look at this when you get a chance. So, interesting stuff going on here with this. So, thought I'd let you know about it. What does it mean? I don't know. It's just interesting that when God turns the light off at the great solar eclipse over here, London, England is turning off time. And, of course, the symbol of time, Big Ben over there. So keep an eye on things. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's coming. I don't know when the Lord's coming back. I just know He's coming back soon. And you and I better be ready for that. So I'm going to cut her off here in a minute and let you go. I just wanted to share that with you. Just be sure you go to the website, godsfoundjubilee.com. Check out the brand new website that my wife has worked on. And make sure you check out the podcast, and make sure if you're not on Facebook with me, go to Facebook, search for God's Found Jubilee, and like the page. And so we'll see you next time here on this same station, same program, same website, wherever you listen from. Of course, you can listen from the website. Just click on the Facebook, the YouTube channel is right there on the Facebook, on the God's Found Jubilee website page. So you can go right there and get it. So we'll cut her off there, and we'll see you next time.